So like just when you think the whole thing is like over, then a Miss Drama Queen got to come in and try to make it all about herself again, and poor little me and all of that kind of thing, right? So now she's doing what? Giving interviews. You ever seen anybody give an interview right after they've been convicted? All right, everybody, Mikey Kung Pao here. That was I got infested for a second by the ghost of Father Sarducci. I'm wearing the floppy hat that way. I do that when I'm very relaxed and everything, because it's late at night and don't have no energy, hard work week. But I just want to get on real quick and talk to you all about some of your comment and everything. I know I'm going to miss a lot of good stuff, but I will do a video on the weekend when I have more time to collect my thoughts together and everything and respond somehow to this crazy woman, this psycho, this narcissist, how many adjectives I got about 35 adjectives, I think, that I should use in association with her. Anyway, what we're going to talk about tonight just a little bit. We're going to make a video to respond to her. Also, since she's still trying to pull all the strings from inside jail and inside her psych ward and whatever else she's doing. And I saw that hideous Donovan creature on a few minutes ago on TV and everything. And she say, is Father Sarducci still stripping into my voice a little bit? I gotta get rid of that guy. Don't like to have more than 2 people in me at once. And Jodi got about 10 people in her at once. They all called Region, there's a whole bunch of different demon in there. And so, you've seen all the different faces of Jodi. Anyway, but we're going to talk about trolls, trolls in sometime in the future. But we're not going to do that tonight. Maybe I'll make a whole video just on them and make it a short one. And Jodi's like that. Well, I'm going to save that bit for the Jodi video. Anyway, Catherine R. and Donia Hu and Baha Mary and a whole bunch of people cheer a toast. I don't have my cheer toast tonight. I think I drank all the champagne last night. I got some in the fridge still. I get another bottle if I run out. Anyway, I have to cheer with my water instead. Thank you all for raising a toast to me back. I really appreciate it. Got some very, very nice people. And Denise, very, very nice to me the whole time, and Kathy Vout and Sherry Hampton, Rinda Opinion, they all been following this from a long time. And Kauai Skeptic, Bad Ones Girl, Serendipitary in Nashville, and all of you. I'm going to miss a lot of people. Spicy Rady, hey, like your screen name. Bunny Hop, and Tough Cookie, and Sarah Bjork, and Budrika. I feel a little bit like, who would that? That guy that used to be on TV when you're watching a little kid show, naming off all the names they send in, so I get to be careful I don't drive myself crazy. But I really appreciate all the comments very much. Muffin Megan and Katie Grover. Okay, anyway, I want to respond to some of the comment people make. First of all, who say that wanting to know, say, Jodi trying to run the show as usual. And that's kind of why I opened the thing. And she trying to dominate everything, control everything, tell her attorney what to do, because she Einstein and everything. And of course, I wasn't surprised at all that court got put off for a week, because she doing the pretend suicide thing. In fact, I think I told you that yesterday on my comment blog. But that she was going to pull a phony suicide thing so that she could postpone things and try to pull everyone's string and everything, like she always do. But amazing she get away with it. If I would have judged, you know what I would have said? I would have said, hey, Jodi, you already convicted. Now, you want to go sit in the corner, you want to curl up in the ball, stand on your head against the wall, or throw a hissy fit off in a little cell someplace, that's fine. But we're proceeding with or without you. Not what I would do if I were the judge. But what do I know? I don't know the law. So Jodi claims she know all about the law, much more than all the attorneys, much more than Juan Martina. She was mentioning that in her interview. And I'm going to do a video, this weekend on that interview, of course, and a couple other things like that, because it need to be addressed. She said some very heinous things, and so we talk about that. But meanwhile, this is a song that kind of reminds me of what somebody might be saying to Juan Martina right about now, if you can listen to this one for a second.
We thank you very sweetly for doing it so neatly.
I hope they don't get banned.
You killed us so completely.
YouTube all
Now we
flagging.
thank you
We thank you.
very sweetly.
We thank you very much, Juan.
Let the joyous news be spread.
And
Wicked
German.
old witch at last is dead.
So anyway, you get the point. Yeah, so she's not dead at this moment, although inside her soul, she's been dead since, since 12-year-old or whenever it was that she started being a sociopath. Anyway, recent case say Jodi is, to prove the aggravating circumstance to give her death penalty, you got to show that the murder that she committed was heinous. There were one or two different adjectives they used, but that was one of them. And the recent case made a very good point. She said that Jodi herself said, and I had it in that clip in the last video I did, Jodi herself said, that was a really heinous crime. I would never do a crime like that, slitting someone's throat and stabbing them. Anyone do that was a heinous crime. And so since Jodi herself defined it as a heinous crime, why don't we just take her definition and go home? They should just replay that. It'll be a 1-minute hearing. Play that for the jury. Say this is what Jodi say about the crime, and then they can raise their arm and vote, yeah, aggravating circumstances, and move on to the next thing. Penalty phase. So I think that should be maybe a 30-second thing. Sandy Dreams say the prosecution. Or what did Sandy Dreams say? No, that was Lisa Case. Sandy Dreams say, maybe they both say that. I'm getting all confused. I read all your comment. Anyway, a whole bunch of people, LED, Wabi-Sabi, and No Remorse, and others, Harvey Jules, all say that Jodi have no remorse. And of course, that blatantly obvious from her, I think we can all agree on that, from her comment in that interview. Blaming everybody else, the prosecutor wouldn't let in the phony letters that I wrote that I was trying to pretend was written by Travis that was in a whole different handwriting than his, that said, oh, by the way, everyone, Travis, I'm a pedophile, and, I sleep with 8-year-olds, signed Travis Alexander, okay, stuff that she wrote, after the crime and stuff. She all complaining now because they wouldn't let that into evidence. Jodi Arias say Jodi gonna spend eternity in hell, and well, I'll talk about this when I address her comment. Jodi shouldn't be. What I'm going to say is Jodi should not be in such a rush, but I don't think she really is. And like a lot of you said, she don't want the death penalty anyway. She's just trying to play everybody as always. Junk correctors say Samuels and Violet and Dr. Bob and all them guys are accessories after the fact, and. Samuels is a poor deluded creature like many older men who decided they wanted the attention of a young woman, even if that young woman be a black mamba snake with poisonous venom in their fangs. But I'm not so sure he would be an accessory after the fact, but I would definitely put Violet into that category. Her testimony was far more heinous because she was doing all that slander and libel and everything against Travis Alexander. And false charges, and she had all a stack of stuff and made the horrible comments that she made. Anyway, we're not going to go into that now. I think I'm going to devote a whole video sometime to Alice for Violet. And, I'd like to see her be... Yeah, I'm going to tell you later. Okay, a whole bunch of people say they like the animals, okay? And, my animals were all celebrating. And because they know when I'm happy, and then they get really happy, and they stay with them. I couldn't get Barbie the Beardy to eat dandelions because so I just had to bring her on and show that she had, but because it was dark, and she'll only eat them during daylight hours. So it's just something about their internal crock, Jessica Jaramillo say I want the death penalty, and it would appeal to her suicide attempt and scratch. And Sandy Dreams say Jodi showed very little emotion, and I think that what I expected her to have some emotion when First Degree be read, some sadness for herself, which she showed, and then do you notice she went right back to normal like 3 seconds later when she stood up. It was like, okay, now I'm going to give you all the bird, okay, and I'm imagining she was asking her attorney Walmart, who would the foreman? I gotta know who the bad vibe. I gotta know who to give the death stare to, and the throat slit move, and how I can imagine like the reverse of what were her stupid thing, raw of attraction. Now she's thinking about the raw of can I do like a psychic stabbing to somebody, a remote ray. She's working on that all the time. So she want to know who the jury foreman that. And Stethno 0490 say. trolls will have a stain on their character forever. And that's why I showed you a troll picture. I'm going to say something about trolls later on. Something wrong with them sick psychos. Something seriously wrong. And Miss Beach Bunny say, and Sandy and a bunch of others say that the whole death penalty thing, a reverse psychology manipulation. I agree 100%. Angela and Sega say Jodi wants talking about the outrage of some of the things Jodi say, talking about Travis being a hypocrite and a pedophile and all that. And of course, we'll talk about that when we look at the interview. But the bottom line is, if you go and watch that 3-hour interview, which I have linked on my site, look on my site under, what do they call that thing? I'm so bad with technical stuff. It's on my feed list and something else. Anyway, comments. I got it in both places. And so you can find the link there. Anyway, that whole tape with the whole thing, you sound like a 12-year-old having an orgasm, that was a whole setup by Jodi. And when you listen to that interview by Chris Hughes, then you can put all the pieces together and see even that's the only thing they have on Travis in this whole thing is those unfortunate words he say on that tape. But when you find out the backstory, you find out that even that's something engineered by Jodi. She was doing the pigtails and the little girl voice and everything with Bobby, somebody, her first boyfriend, that Bobby guy, that she'd get all jealous and run up to Crater Lake and interview other girlfriend and all that kind of thing, confronting people, making up the same stories about how people come in and tell her things at her restaurant, out of the blue, of course, So anyway, if you listen carefully to what Travis said, Jodi's right again, as always, in her interview she say, oh, Travis said he fantasizing about having sex with a 12-year-old girl, so that by definition a pedophile. Okay, this is what she say like moments after she convicted, right? She's still trying to play the old Travis a pedophile card. That chick she's never gonna learn, is she? Don't she know no one believe her? Didn't the verdict tell her anything? Nah. Okay, anyway, so, but that's not what Travis said, is it? What were her exact words? Okay, first of all, Jodi doing the pigtail thing. She baiting him. She set this up. She recording it secretly. And when you hear the backstory, you'll understand why. She goads him into this comment. And what did he actually say? He said, you sound like, when she doing her little girl voice, you sound like a 12-year-old girl having her first orgasm. Now think about the difference between I want to have a 12-year-old girl and you sound like you being a 12-year-old girl having her first orgasm. And then when you listen to the backstory, you can put it all together. And the only thing we could ever hang on Travis' head that he did wrong was that comment. And so when you put all that, but of course, and then the foolishness of being involved with Jodi, once she's a psycho, but that one doing something wrong was just bad judgment. And I think a lot of that was he was trying to pacify her, trying to let her down easy, trying to find some way to get rid of her without her stabbing and slashing on his tires and everything. But it didn't work. Okay, so I'm very, very sad about that. And somebody here say, do I have it written down? We'll come across it, I think. Somebody say that they felt a huge surge of emotion yesterday, not just at the verdict, which you all felt elated that and happy that justice won in the end. But our big wave of sadness, there were 3 for me too. The time that actually brought me to emotional tears. Can I admit that, guys aren't supposed to cry, right? It's not a macho thing. I'm tough. I never ever cry about anything, You could stab me 29 times, I wouldn't share it here. But the fact of the matter is, we have emotions, so at least I do. I don't know about anybody else. Anyway, the thing that brought me to tear was when I saw the clip of the verdict being read and they were panning Travis' family, okay, because you saw it from that angle. And I saw that again today, brought me to emotional tear again today. And to see that family outpouring of emotion been all pent up in them for all the months and years since their family member was so brutally murdered, that were a very, very powerful moment, and a moment that make the whole trial worthwhile. And Jodi can pull all these shenanigans. Who knows what will happen next Wednesday or what new thing drama queen will do, but it don't matter, because in the end, everybody onto her except her little band of psycho followers. What else we got? Robin asked me if I know who Juan brother or Detective Flores' family was. I don't really know. I don't know what they look like. So I heard they're in the courtroom, but I'm not sure. So, and Mooney and Mikee and Bibu and many more people see the death penalty, yes or no, and we all vote yes on that one. And the important thing there is, of course, not really so much whether Jodi get the needle and be put out of our misery, but that she would have to cease and desist. The rules is different on death row, and this would take away some of her privileges, all the poison she's spreading from jail, and just like the thing. And I saw that horrible Donovan creature again today on the TV, and she say, I shut the Twitter account down myself. It wasn't Twitter that shut it down, and it'll be back up in a few days so that Jodi can spread her poison to, well, that she didn't say that, but that's what she mean. So Jodi can spread her poison to her evil band of followers and keep all that going. See, we gotta nip that in the bud. Jodi shouldn't be able to say another word. She should keep her pie hole closed from now on. She convicted, got done with it, it's a penalty phase now, and we don't want to hear from her no more. So I wish a judge would shut her up with a court order, cease and desist, whatever. Shut down Twitter, Facebook, eBay, whatever else she's gonna do. I know her eBay art been shut down already. That phony art she do where she trace on paper, which what we learned to do when we were 5-year-old. Okay, anyway, Hollybrook Hollybrook had a very great word for Jodi that I haven't used for quite a while in my vocabulary, because the only long word I know is contemporaneous. But she say that Jodi have a malevolent, that's M-A-L, malevolent defense, and and that is just so right on target. I got to keep that in my list of adjectives for Jodi, because if anybody ever showed malevolence, it's her. So thank you for that one. And abomination, she threw that one in too, and of course she is all that. So who else we have? Muffin Macon and Katie Grover and Dana and Meme, or Meme, I think, Meme, Yammies and Dwayne Verba. Thank you very much all for compliments and raising your toast to us, Justice and Travis family, and to Juan Martina, who does such a great job, and Wabasabi, and by the way, Wabasabi, I believe that this verdict of guilty, first degree, move us all a little closer to, all of us, move a little closer to Satori, don't you think so? And, Debbie Mouterstock and Seeker 52 Truth, the spiritual guy, and 420 Flower Power, who has a very clever wit, talking about the bell tolling and the Shuri. And let's see, we got a whole bunch of people who like the animals. Gabriel, I can't read my own writing, this is why I should type things, I'm just jotting down notes today on my lunch break, looking at your comments. Jodi Arias and Kathy Henry and ROZ 805, all said they like the animals, It occurred to me, the animal that was in the video, and it occurred to me that, I want to mention, in the animal kingdom, when Orion kills something to eat it, and there's some mean animals out there. Well, what's the mean animals? Like Tasmanian devil and things like that. Those animals aren't committing any crimes, are they? They're acting according to their instinct. And they don't make any moral decisions. This is what set humanity apart, is we make moral decisions. And so we are capable of committing crimes, whereas animals aren't. You don't convict them of murder because they go kill another animal, do you? And you don't consider them evil when they do that. They're acting according to their instinct. But in the human population, such thing as morality isn't there, given to us by God, I believe. That's my worldview. One of the things set us apart, one of about 20 things set us apart from the rest of the animal kingdom. We'll talk about the other 19 sometime. Anyway, so most of us have that morality. We understand what it is. We don't always abide by that moral code. But the thing about a sociopath is they don't have any moral code. And there's no inherent morality in them. And the reason that people like Jodi can do an interview right after being convicted and sound so pathetically unhappy that the people out there just needed a scapegoat because, they have to do a lynching now and then, and I guess I was just a victim of that, because people like to do a little, blood mob now and then, that's what she's saying, of course. And, they just don't know Travis was abusive like I do, and when you listen to her, it sounds like she's really believing on her rise, right? And the reason that she's saying it that way is she actually do believe all those lies because she's a sociopath. No, she don't really believe that was what happened. That's not what I mean when I say that. In her mind, she knows she did all the stabbing. She knows Travis never abused her. When I say she believe all those lies, what I'm telling you is, if a sociopath creates a false reality, a big pack of lies that they want everyone else to believe in, they so firmly believe that they are not subject to any natural law, no morality, no God's law, no man's law, no law of any kind, that whatever they say is the truth. And so it's an outrage to them if you don't believe it, because they're far superior to everything else. When Samuel say, Jodi have low esteem, the sociopath have the exact opposite. They have the highest esteem there can ever be. They believe they are God. They believe whatever they say is the truth because they said it. It don't matter if they tell you 5 different lies in a row all about the same thing. You're supposed to believe them all because they're superior to you. And they're not subject to anything that you say or any reality. So if they say, I just turned that brick of lead into gold, okay, and you don't believe it, they're outraged you would believe it. No, they know the brick of lead didn't turn into gold. They're still mad at you for not believing it, because whatever they say goes. So that's the way, that's the arrogance they have. And we'll talk more about that in the future. Nashville say, Nashville brought up, of course, now the defense attorney, Nermi or whoever, has filed motions to suppress the family from making statement in court in person, which is an outrage, of course. You know what, if the judge gave this defense so much. I didn't criticize the judge. I tried hard not to. She's a nice person, obviously, trying to do the right thing. She let both sides have some latitude, let one have some, let the defense have some. But she kept out so much evidence that should have come in. I hope some of it come into the penalty part at the end. And, you know, she let the defense get away with murder. I mean, really, literally, murdering Travis' reputation with no substantiation. None of that crap should have came in with no evidence to back it up. Not a shred of it should have come in. And I hope a law is passed to prevent that in the future. But if she don't let this family speak after all these years they suffered, and she let Jodi continue to torment them with these motions and things, I'm going to be really pissed off. Aren't you? All right, so I'm not going to get worked up tonight because I'm still really happy about the verdict. Where's my glass of wine at? I'll go find it after this video. Another glass of champagne. But I'm elated, and I don't think Jodi's going to get away with anything. But I do want to see that family speak. They have every right to say anything they want to say, any way they want to say it, as long as they want to say it, and with any kind of tone they want to use. Okay? So, and I think you all agree. I have absolute confidence you do. Karen Crossposter say, Jodi's fan club is putting out a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to go look that up, okay? And Spuzzy Rargo say that there are vile accusations coming out of Jodi all the time, and well, that's certainly true. And one of the things I want to mention when we talk about vile, people that are really vile, like Jodi, is if you take the E off the end of that word and put it in the front, you get evil, okay? So I think that very appropriate. So vile, evil, okay? Just popped out at me when I was looking at it. Mr. Mac 5150, talk about, am I happy now that Jodi convicted, blah, blah, blah. You know, and of course I respond back and said, yeah, I am happy, okay? So is everybody else with brain in their head. But Mr. Mac, I'm going to give you a compliment, okay? Because you're the only Jodi file troll I know, I've seen, who act halfway decent and have a decent attitude and, you know, and nice in the way that you present yourself and everything. And I think you're just a little soft-headed and taking in by Jodi like that poor Daryl Brewer guy. But I think your heart in the right place, and you're the only troll out of the 1,000 I've seen that I would give that compliment to. So I hope you accept it in the spirit in which it's given. But I don't really need your video advice, okay? So you can stop giving me that video advice all the time about how I make my videos shorter and talk this way and make them more funny and blah, 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 and my routine getting old now. Because, see, I don't care about any of that. I'm not here for any agenda except to talk about Jodi and getting justice. And if I have humor in my video, it's because I have a sense of humor, and that's what I enjoy doing, okay? And if I don't have humor, because I'm worked up and I'm angry, and I want to talk to other people and share their feelings, okay? That's why I'm doing these videos. I don't care about rating. I don't care about getting discovered by anybody. I have a very important rocket science job, and they're not going to pay me any place in any comedy house to get what I'm getting paid, okay? So I've never been an aspiring actor or any of that kind of crap. So you can save your advice on that one. Or better yet, if you really want to help me with my video making capabilities and skills, okay, I want you to go make a nice batch of videos on the Jodi Arias trial for me. And tell me when you have them done, and so I can come critique them for you. And then that way I'll learn how to do it right, okay? So let me know when you have that done, will you? That's your homework assignment, Mr. Mac. And what else we got going? So anyway, I wanted to thank some other people. I don't know if I thank everybody every amount of star. And I'm sorry I missed some people. But we will come back like Saturday or something, and we'll do a video on Jodi interview and also on the verdict. Hey, I want to hear something, don't you? Before I close this, just want to hear this one thing.
Upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. Oaths do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5 jurors find premeditated.
Yeah, just had to see that, had to hear that and see all of a sudden that we got the sad Jodi face, She weren't sad about anything of that. Isn't that amazing? She walked in and actually thought they weren't going to find her guilty first degree. How arrogant she is. But like I said, she thinks she's superior to everyone and everything in the universe, including God, who she blasphemed and thinks she got fooled too. She went to go see him, and she's going to be in for a big shock. Anyway, till our next video, with just a little informal chat. Don't go with no sociopath, okay? Don't go with no sociopath. You see what happened? Okay.